About a month ago, I made a video called 10 DM tips that I wish players knew. Frankly, you guys really liked that video, so here are 10 D&D player things that I wish DMs knew. Let's jump right in because the first one is we are idiots. And players, you know who you are, you feel my pain, and you understand the process because D&D, no matter how smart the individuals are, we have the collective brain cells of maybe one or two individuals. If you have a specific plan for how you guys want the encounters to go, be prepared to plan for other possibilities. No other people will throw a wrench into your plans like your players, and frankly that's part of the fun of D&D. And please be patient with us players because we are over time trying to figure out how to work together to solve the problems you place in front of us. So please let us be idiots. We are idiots and we are proud to be idiots. The second thing is giving us a long rest, please, because we love playing D&D, we love having encounters, and sometimes we really need a long rest. I understand for the players that sometimes abuse this mechanic where they long rest after every encounter, but please eventually give us a long rest where we can continue, because sometimes we are at a level where we cannot keep up with the encounters that is being thrown at us. Now, please also check the difficulties. That's a little bit of a bonus, but please just let us have the ability to use our abilities. Number 3, combat is fun until it's not. One person does their thing, and then for the rest of the turn they are waiting for everyone else, including the DM and the number of monsters that they're fighting, to make their turns. For the most part, I'm not really interested in what the mage is doing with all of their spells. I could honestly care less as a fighter. And if you have combat after combat after combat, when the combat encounters don't mean anything, like they're random encounters, maybe these are encounters that are just hindrances to the dungeon, they're not really worth having. And frankly, it becomes repetitive and it becomes just a waiting game and it's not fun anymore. So we love combat, but don't make it the driving force of your game. But if you are making combat the driving force of your campaign, make sure your encounters mean something. Number 5 is a tricky one because some D&D players just like to watch. Now, what I mean by this is that some people like to use D&D as a way of escaping the current reality that we're in. We want to just hang out with our friends for a night, for a few hours, goof off. We want to make silly voices. We want to hang out and watch our friends do silly and fun things. We're not really interacting with the world, and that's completely fine because we know that whatever the DM has in front of us is a adventure. Now, the opposite end of this is that some DMs will see this and they'll think that because the D&D player is not interacting with the world, that means either they're not understanding the game or they're not having fun. We are having fun. We're at the table. We want to play. We are watching our friends play the characters. It's okay for us to just sit back and watch everything fold around us. This shouldn't be an issue with your DMing style. It is just who we are, and just acknowledge that sometimes we just want to relax for a bit. Number 6, players like details. DMs, players don't see the same things that you do, and unless you're drawing a map or you are some physical prop that we can see, we do not understand what is happening around us. And I know there's the whole theater of the mind thing. Some people get it, some people don't get it. Please just give us some details of like what we are fighting, who we are talking to, the physical appearances of the NPCs. Give us names, give us what they're wearing, give us something that we can tangibly imagine. We want to see what is in front of us, but D&D is not a video game, it is the imagination, and we need the deets on everything that is happening around. And if you can't give us the details, summarize it. It's fine, as long as we can get the message across. That is really the whole purpose of communication. Number 7, we shouldn't be forced to roll for everything. We don't have to roll for picking up something. We don't have to roll for things that should be basic. This becomes annoying, especially when you have multiple characters wanting to do the same role. Maybe 2 people want to do a medicine check or an investigation check, or maybe 5 players want to roll perception. Frankly, this is just the way of D&D and it happens. However, just carry it over and just tell us what we need to see, tell us what we need to hear, and just be upfront, because passive checks are a thing. And don't forget. Now, number 8. DMs, please be careful with your information. There is your way, and then there is my way. You might understand something one way, I might understand, and the rest of the party will understand completely different. In my previous campaign, long ago, in when the 4 Nations, long ago in one of my D&D campaigns, one of my players had the idea for this secret society called the Knights of Altea. I realized that when the person meant secret society, I meant like Illuminati level of stuff. She thought that it was a hidden fraternity, sorority, just kind of just there. They know of, but no one really knows exactly what they mean. And these are 2 different things: secret society, community group. And frankly, that ruined a lot of expectations going further into the game. And just be upfront and communicative with your players about information. Number 9, talk to us outside of the game. I know you can't spill your secrets, but please tell us stuff. Tell us that you're okay, and tell us that you're still being human, because as a DM, sometimes after every session, you would just get into some sort of existential crisis and we don't see you for like a few weeks, or at least until the next session. Talk to us about other things. D&D is your life, but D&D is not just your life, and you shouldn't have to give up anything else. And make sure, we just want to know that you're healthy and you're still going, and we love you, and all that jazz. We just want to be sure you're okay and you are okay up here as well. Number 10, the last tip for DMs I wish you knew, is that showing up means that the campaign is fun with them. Many people have less than 8 hours of free time in their day. When we are showing up at the table as a full party, when we can, or weekly or bi-weekly, or as ever often as we can, we are having fun. These are the players that like you, and they want to continue this journey along with you. We're not paying you, but we are showing up to listen to whatever you have next.